Hey guys, I'm in Malaga and I'm going to Curry, which is a Japanese curry house. It's Vlogmas. I don't know what day Vlogmas this is going to be actually, because I'm filming this you know, in advance, because I can't exactly drop my life and start doing things for Vlogmas. But yeah, I wanted to keep things sort of like in the spirit of Japan, so I found this restaurant I've been to before. I really liked it. It had a really good vibe. The owners, the chef, the people there were really cool. I've got in contact with them beforehand, and that's where I'm heading. So right, I know that Malaga, Spain isn't my hometown at all, but there's something really strange. I'm used to vlogging in Japan and Asia and when I'm traveling around, but this is kind of like a little bit of a hurdle, and I think this is a cool thing about Vlogmas. It's about getting out there and doing things that you're not used to doing. So I'm gonna actually go to this restaurant by myself and try to vlog it. So fingers crossed. Made it, and let me just give you a little like overview of what I've done. What I've done is, because there's some people behind me, so I kind of told them that I was going to be filming, but I didn't want to, like, you know, be rude in any way, and they were cool. I mean, I'm not focusing on them at all. Actually, I went to the brewery where this is actually made, but I'm guessing it's made in the brewery and it's sent over here. So, and they actually showed me how to pour the beer properly, and I've done a huge mess of it, so and the menu is quite comprehensive menu, and there's quite a few things here, and I don't quite know what I'm going to get yet, so I'm going to go over the menu in a minute. I have no idea what I'm going to get yet. There's a few really cool things in the menu, and I'm just going to tell you what I've got. I've gone for some gyozas. They didn't have the traditional pork ones, so I've gone for the chicken gyozas to start with. And then I've decided that because the place is called Curry, it's a Japanese curry place, I've decided that I am going to get a curry. So I've gone for the tonkatsu curry, which is basically a breaded pork cutlet, usually curry. And it's usually my favorite, one of my favorite things that I get in Japan when I'm in Japan. So it's going to be difficult for them to get remotely close. So I'm going to try not to be too much of a critic. Other interesting things that I was looking at in the menu, where they had some like okonomiyaki, which I love the Hiroshima okonomiyaki. If you haven't seen my Hiroshima vlogs, check them out, because Hiroshima style okonomiyaki is cooked in front of you. I believe it's got some noodles in them, that's the main thing, and it's more like a pancake, whilst the traditional okonomiyaki you kind of make yourself, and it's more like I would say like a scrambled sort of thing. But so they have okonomiyaki here, and they have taco rice, and with cheese and with beef you can choose. And there's some really cool sort of like vegetarian options that I've seen. I was looking here, and there's actually a grilled eggplant or grilled zucchini curry. So for those of you who are vegan, vegetarians, then there are some options here. Potatoes and carrots also, curry, and something that I've had here in the past was a karage, and the karage, which is like little bits of chicken, was actually really good last time I came. So I've decided not, I'm on my own this time, so I'm not gonna like order a feast, but I'll keep the beer coming, why not? Itadakimasu, or kanpai, kanpai. does come. It looks pretty good so far. It smells pretty good. And they've given me some cutlery and some chopsticks, and I'm obviously going to choose the chopsticks. And there's something that I learned, and that is that the chopsticks, they should be clean cut when you break them apart. If you break them and they're not clean cut like these, then it's bad luck. I've been told that I use the chopsticks quite well, so that's a compliment when it comes from a 15-year-old Japanese boy. My friend's son was very impressed with my chopstick skills when I went to visit them in Tokushima. So Yuma, if you're watching, hello. Itadakimasu. So I went for the chicken gyoza, and I have to say that they look really good. So good, really good. To be honest, I usually like the pork ones, but there's not much different because the seasoning is pretty much the same. Very good. And you can actually see the gyozas down here. Pretty nice. Just some soy sauce is all you need, really. The tonkatsu, the pork cutlet, breaded pork cutlet, curry has arrived, and I have to admit that I ate one because a little piece at the end because I was filming a time lapse and I couldn't resist. So you probably saw it in the time lapse. I have to say that from what I've tasted already, I really like the seasoning and I really like the crispy breadcrumbs part of it. I think it's pretty cool. It has some curry, some rice underneath. Let me just move this out of the way. You can see there's some rice underneath the pork. Pork itself, like that. I'm just going to dip it into the curry. So I hope you can hear me, by the way. The curry is pretty good, by the way, I have to say. ¿Me puedes poner otra cerveza?
¿Una Saji, una Kirin o
una? Let's go for a Kirin. Una Kirin. So I've had a Sapporo and I'm gonna have a Kirin now. The pork, I'm gonna say, right. I don't know if this is gonna make any sense, but basically in Japan the pork is a little bit more fatty and sort of really tender and juicy, and the pork here, it's not that it's overcooked, but it's just different, you know. I think it's difficult to get the same cup of meat, but it's very tasty. And even though it's not exactly the same, it's definitely tasty and it's an equal match, I'd say. So the curry is not spicy at all. It's just fragrant and tasty. I like the curry a lot. It's not spicy. It tastes like Japanese curry. So that's a good thing for sure. I have to say it's a very different experience here than the last time I had tonkatsu. in one of my videos back in April, I actually went to a tonkatsu restaurant and it was completely silent. Nobody spoke whatsoever, and it was, I wouldn't say it was uncomfortable, but I wanted to vlog and I couldn't really vlog because, you know, people were not making any noise. So I sort of filmed and then I did a little compilation. And the tonkatsu there was really, really good, and it came with cabbage. So I don't know if curry tonkatsu is supposed to come with cabbage, or is this when it's tonkatsu on its own. But it definitely came with cabbage. I remember having cabbage, and it was really, really good. It was basically a little bar, maybe 6 or 7 stools, and all they did was tonkatsu and miso soup. In the menu, it says that curry was introduced to Japan by the British between 1869 and 1913. So I know that the British, because I'm British, I know that the British basically, when they took over India, they brought curry with them to Britain, and I know that things like chicken tikka masala are kind of like a fusion, something that kind of doesn't exist in Britain, doesn't exist in India, but exists in Britain. And I know that the owner, because I've spoken to the owner before, I know that the owner is married to a Japanese lady. So there's definitely a Japanese connection with the restaurant, which I like, you know. Sometimes I've been to some restaurants that pretend to be Japanese, and then when you're eating the food, you're thinking, these people have never been to Japan, ever, you know? What are the Japanese restaurants like around where you live? And also, this isn't your traditional Japanese restaurant. There is no sushi on the menu, believe it or not. But that's cool, that's okay. People have this misconception that Japan is all about sushi and fish, and there's so many different types of Japanese foods that do not involve fish, that it's just mind-blowing. I've ordered myself some mochi for dessert, and I've also ordered myself a ramune. And if you've seen me open ramune in any of my other videos, you know that it's usually a disaster. And believe it or not, in Gibraltar, you can, if you're any of my viewers from Gibraltar, then you can buy ramune in Ramsons, and if you can't find ramune in Ramsons, then you can ask for it and hopefully they'll bring it. So this comes off from here, and you push this down, and there's a marble inside. The marble at the top, you see that? There's a little sort of like lump. That's a marble, like a round glass thingy, and this is gonna push it down, and it's gonna go down into here. And you can actually see the marble inside. You see that? Playing around inside. Pretty cool. So let's give it a taste, yeah? It tastes like it tastes more lemony, this one. But I've had these yuzu, like proper yuzu stuff in Japan, and I wouldn't say it tastes like lemon. It might remind you of lemon, but it doesn't taste like lemon. I've got my dessert. This is a mochi of yuzu also, but I wanted to keep to the same flavors. So one mochi ball here, and mochi is made out of rice. Basically, they mash up rice, mash it. It's really, really cool to see when people are mashing it. They usually, sometimes they work in pairs, and they mash and they pull and they mash and they pull, and it makes this really, really gooey, sort of stretchy sort of consistency, and it's really, really weird because it ends up with sort of like the texture of cheese, of melted cheese. So if you can imagine that, but rice, Maybe you can't imagine it, but it's something like that. And sometimes you might have seen this before actually. Usually you get 3 of them on a stick. And sometimes they heat it up on a barbecue, and sometimes they put like a sauce over the top. It's pretty good. I like mochi. I know some people that can't stand the texture. Some people just put it in their mouth and they just can't stand the texture. But I do like mochi. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm gonna like this one. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat this with my fingers. I know I'm not supposed to, or maybe I'll use a fork. Let's see. I'll be posh for you guys. Woo. You can see already. Look at this, right? Oh, it's got ice cream inside. I didn't know. Look at that. That is really, really nice. A mochi with ice cream inside. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm very happy with it actually. It's very subtle, the taste, by the way, very, very subtle. So, in fact, I would say the ramune is a lot stronger in taste than the mochi that I'm having. So. So I really actually enjoyed doing all the vlogging. I thought it was pretty cool. The restaurant was pretty neat. I really enjoyed it. The waiters were very professional. They kept me pleased the whole time, and the whole vlogging experience wasn't bad at all. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I wasn't embarrassed at all. So I think I've overcome a hurdle that I was worried about. So yeah. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to give me 2 thumbs up or 1 thumb up if you remember, and leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. See you soon. Happy Vlogmas.